So, Paul, where are we?
We are at the 2020 Chicago Auto Show. Inside the Tech Garage, which is a huge garage here at McCormick Place. And they basically line up all the cars, and you get to kind of drive them around in a big circle and get an idea what they feel like.
A little bit of an idea.
Because like you're maxed out about 25 miles an hour. So
it's definitely a cooler auto show experience than the public gets to experience. So a little perk of our job. But this particular vehicle is the Kia Seltos. Doesn't really roll off the tongue very well. Maybe a combination of Celtics and Mentos. And if you want to try to remember this, I think you need to put a seatbelt. Oh, look, the parking brake was on. Well, it's hard to remember that these days because most of them are electric. So
yeah, I thought it was electric one that was going to turn off.
Thank God it actually has a manual parking brake because most of them don't. Now, this vehicle slots sort of right above the sole. Not bad. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner, but it's not bad. But it slots a little bit above the sole size-wise, and less than the Sorento, if I'm remembering correctly. Sportage? Okay. Yes, right. The Sorrento's the big one. It has this really cool piano black plastic that fades into a faux carbon fiber trim. At the price point this thing is going to come in at, it's not going to have a carbon fiber trim, but that's the next best thing. Seats are leather or leatherette. I'm going with probably the latter. And
it's definitely leatherette.
Yeah. I know some hard plastics, lots of hard plastics.
But hard plastic here. Okay, obviously, Kia's building to a certain price point.
Correct.
When you're making a car, you have a specific number in mind, and you need to figure out where you're going to put that money.
Yep.
You're going to put it in the way it performs and handles and safety tech. There's not much left for, very nice materials and stuff in the dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do the luxury route, put a lot of money into the materials and stuff, and then have not much left over, so you got to go borrow an engine from an existing car that you guys make,
mm-hmm.
or you got to go, the same thing, a transmission. All sorts of cost-cutting ways of doing things. Now,
always a trade-off.
I have to say, Kia and the sister company Hyundai are doing an amazing job lately in making materials that may not cost the most, but they're making them look good.
Exactly. They're literally knocking it out of the park. If you ever drive a Palisade or a Kia Telluride or a Kia Stinger, it's amazing how awesome those cars are. And I'm not sure what that was, but it's amazing how awesome those cars are, and yet they come in at a price point well below their competition, and they're fun to drive. I mean, we just got out of a Palisade.
Yes.
I just could not, I couldn't love that car anymore.
And currently I'm driving a Hyundai Venue,
yep.
And it's very down in horsepower, so it's a little anemic. However, it's fun to drive. I have to admit, on taking twisties and stuff, it's amazing on how well that car grips. And now, getting back to the Seltos here, the interior looks really premium.
You got drive mode, so you got normal, sport, and smart.
Yep.
Let's go with sport. And I mean I will tell you, that things like the windows don't have auto up and down on my side, at least. Maybe on yours,
the driver's probably only, but it's got automatic climate control and a very nice laid out.
The nice thing that Kia and Hyundai do is well laid out interiors.
Yes.
They're where Audi was 10, 15 years ago, where everybody was like, oh, it's an Audi interior, it's the best laid out interior. That's where Kia and Hyundai are kind of getting to, is that they're, I think, one of the best laid out interiors. There are buttons where there should be buttons.
Yes, I was just going to say, the climate control is its own individual unit where you're not looking through the infotainment center to find out
how do I turn the fan down.
How to turn the fan down, exactly.
Yeah.
So we love that, because when you're driving, you're supposed to be focusing on the road and what you're doing, not fumbling through 25 different menus. So they put all the menus and stuff into more of the radio, but you still got a nice knob for volume, got a nice knob for tuning. So
you can get all the important stuff.
You got the buttons and knobs where they should be, and then you got the touch screens where that should be.
Absolutely.
So kudos to Hyundai and Kia for doing that.
And you even get a power sunroof in here, which it's very nice.
Now let's talk about the handling of the car. Again, we're limited to our speed here and the space, but it's the suspension is not too firm, but not soft at all. It's a very nice, compliant ride. The steering has some good feel to it. There's a little bit of heft. It's a little numb, where I'm not really feeling the road underneath my fingertips.
Or in this case, the polished concrete floor.
Of the polished concrete floor. But with electronic steering, that's kind of to be expected.
How the brakes?
Yeah, well, let me see if I can accelerate a little bit here.
Step on it. Does it feel like a CVT?
Okay.
Ooh, we activated ABS.
Yeah, because again, we're on a polished concrete, very slippery. But
there's not a lot of grip here. But
there was a little bit more travel than I would like. You have to kind of, the brakes didn't really grab until I was maybe a quarter of a way into the pedal.
Okay, so it's built for comfort and around town. But otherwise, I'd say Kia sells a lot of these vehicles because they're well made. They have an excellent warranty. They drive nice and they're cheap. I mean, not dirt cheap. They're not Yugo cheap. But if you're comparing them to the competition, it's going to be cheaper.
They're always going to come in with more
value.
More value, and they're going to include a lot of stuff that other brands charge you more for.
This is 100% true. So I think that kind of sums up this particular vehicle. I failed to mention, you do have the wireless phone charging down here too. So there are some pretty neat creature comforts that even 2 years ago you wouldn't see this in a luxury car.
Yeah, and I have to say the interior is nice looking. It's really nice looking.
No, there's nothing offensive about it at all. And when you're at this price point, you're really kind of just going for functionality and just don't make it wrong.
Exactly. And we would love to get this vehicle when it's available and get it out on the street and really take it through its paces. But for right now, in this little preview drive, this is a car that we want to put on our list. We definitely want to drive this some more.
Yep.
So with that, this has been Paul
and Brendan.
Sons of Speed, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks a lot.